Hello fans and friends across the universe, and welcome back to my YouTube channel from me to you. My name's Keir Smith, back today with another Fab 4 video. I'm working my way through each of the post-Beatles albums released by John, Paul, George and Ringo, and today I'm going to be choosing my Fab 4, my 4 favourite songs from George Harrison's posthumous release from 2002, Brainwashed. And Brainwashed is an album that I like very much. I'd score it a very good 8 out of 10, and I'd probably rank it maybe 6th out of the 10 albums that George released after the Beatles. Some of these Fab 4s are easy to get together, some prove to be a bit more difficult, and this was a difficult one. There's a lot of good songs on Brainwashed, a lot of songs that I like, so getting the 4 together, it wasn't easy. I got 2 songs down quite quickly, but then I seemed to and ah over 3 or 4 songs where I kept chopping and changing my mind. But I finally settled on this particular Fab 4, so say no more, here's my Fab 4 from George Harrison's Brainwashed. So I'll start with one of the 2 songs that I picked immediately. The first one being Stuck Inside a Cloud. This is such a sad song. When you listen to it and you think about what George was going through, then as soon as you hear that woozy slide guitar sound that he gets on the intro, it's immediately affecting. But I'm always cheered up by that chirping keyboard that plods along in the verses, and then you get that uplift into the chorus when George sings, talking to myself, crying out loud, only I can hear me, I'm stuck inside a cloud. And I really like George's vocal here. Yes, it's a little frail and I think it's double tracked in parts, but again, very affecting. And I love the guitar solo here, and forgive me for stating the obvious, but George was such a great player. He always played the right parts. He always knew when to play it, and yeah, it gets me every time. And those lyrics in the final verse, never been so crazy, but I've never felt so sure. Wish I had the answer to give, don't even have the cure. For me, that seems to capture the confusion that he must have felt, knowing that he was dying. Oh, it's such a sad song, but a really good one. My second choice is Looking for My Life, which is equally sad if you read the lyrics, but this has a upbeat arrangement. It's got a really nice chord progression that opens the song, and I really like the way that George's vocal doubles up with the melody as he leads into the chorus. And Jim Keltner's drums are really good here, plenty of cymbal splashes which I always like. And when George sings those lines, oh boy, you've no idea what I've been through, and oh love, I feel so stuck that I can't get to you. I always think that he's addressing Donnie and Olivia there, which again is very moving. Had no idea I was heading toward a state of emergency. I had no fear of where I was treading. I only found it out when I was down upon my knees, looking for my life. George was always a very honest writer, and I've always appreciated that about his writing, and so it proves here. It's painfully honest. But as I said earlier, this is an upbeat arrangement and very catchy, and one I really like. So my third choice, and sticking with the up-tempo and catchy feeling, I'm going to go with P2 Vatican Blues, open brackets, Last Saturday Night, close brackets. Yeah, this has a good tempo to it, good bluesy guitar licks, good keyboard work, and I especially like those descending guitar lines that feature throughout the song. George might have been harking back to his Catholic upbringing one last time as he takes a pop at the Catholic Church here. And you know, some people say George was a bit preachy, but I like preachy George. I like it when he's having a bit of a poke at someone or something. I really like his hushed, suspicious vocal when he sings, the truth is hiding, lurking, banking, the things they do at night. And it's followed by that excellent rhyme. It's quite suspicious, to say the least. I even mentioned it to my local priest. And maybe a forced confession of 1 Our Father, 3 Hail Marys, each Saturday night. And again, the guitar playing is first class as you would expect. How chirpy and catchy is that guitar solo? Love that. And it's all done in just over 2.5 minutes. That's how you write them. I think it's a great song. And for my fourth pick, and completing this particular episode of my Fab 4, is the title track, my favourite song on the album. And aside from being a great song, I think I like this song that bit more because for me, it sums up a lot of things about George that made him who he was. Really good drums here. I like that stomping intro and the guitar line that follows it that leads into the first verse. And George tells us that we're being brainwashed by all of these things. And he's right. We're being brainwashed in our prams, through our childhood, by the teachers and the schools. Of course, we're being brainwashed by money. Money was always a seriously irritating factor for George, and when you consider how much he'd been ripped off during his life, then it's understandable. So he addresses that here. But as always with George, there's great humour here too, and he sings, "They even got my cousin Bob, they even got my grandma when she was working for the mob." And I really like the way that stomp returns when he sings, "God, God, God, you're all the wisdom that we seek." And then you get that lovely, unexpected turn in the middle of the song where you hear that teaching being read out. The soul is not love, it is love itself. And how to know God, page 130 specifically. And one final rant, brainwashed by mobile phones, brainwashed by the satellite. We're brainwashed to the bone. And I love that bit when he sings, "Must be something I forgot, down on Bullshit Avenue." And I remember hearing this song for the first time and thinking, what a great song, what a fitting finale. And then you get that final twist, the most tender and beautiful twist of George's entire career. The song plays out with George quietly singing that mantra. It's so beautiful. And when you think about George Harrison and you know how important his faith and devotion was to him, then this was the perfect way for him to sing out his recording career for us, his fans, to hear. And every time I listen to this song, it always feels like the most perfect goodbye. And the word underrated gets used an awful lot these days, but I'm going to use it here. Brainwashed is underrated. I think it's a George Harrison masterpiece. So there you go. That was my Fab 4 from George Harrison's Brainwashed album. I chose Stuck Inside a Cloud, Looking for My Life, P2 Vatican Blues, Last Saturday Night, and finally the title track. As I say, this was a difficult Fab 4 to choose because there was a couple of other songs that were knocking on the door and desperately trying to creep in. And if you know this album well and you've got an opinion, then please do leave your Fab 4 down in the comments section below. And as always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video, and I'll see you very soon for my next Fab 4 video, which I've already decided is going to be on Ringo's Liverpool 8 album. So until then, peace and love, bye for now.